Hi, this is Bansi Mehta, and I'm going to be covering the Business Studies Grade 9 curriculum for especially the strand finance, although what the application that I'm going to show can also be used in other areas of the Business Studies curriculum, such as marketing budgets, business planning budgets, HR, things like that. For this particular case, we're going to be concentrating on the finance strand, looking at how Excel spreadsheets and financial management software tools can be used within personal finance budgeting, and later looking at business finance. Initially, what I want to draw your attention to is that technology changes everything in anything that we do as teachers. It obviously has an impact on business studies in all areas of the business studies curriculum. It impacts how I or yourselves would deliver the course. For instance, I've used flipped classroom theory, where I have pre-recorded mini lessons that students watch before coming to school, and so they already have a lot of information in them, and then they've got questions with one another that they can resolve between themselves. It also means that at times I'm not actually delivering the course, it's the students between themselves as they co-learn or learn something different and want to share with their peers. In terms of content of subject and exploration, this is far deeper than it's ever been, because now students, whether themselves or in groups, start exploring different elements of the subject area that we're covering, and they discover a lot more than what I would probably be able to give them as a teacher. As you will see in this presentation, students have access to a lot of information in different forms, and then therefore they can choose how they want to share that information, what information is important to them, and what it actually means to them through evaluations. This all integrates with universal design for learning and differentiated instruction. Because the software tools, the technologies out there will enable students to show the information in different ways. It allows students to approach the task in different ways, using a variety of mediums to show what they know. It also offers options that provide choice and it keeps their interest. So here's a diagram of universal design for learning. We're looking at the why of learning, the what of learning, and the how. In addition to this, it also enables students and teachers to collaborate in a whole different arena, and it allows all the students and teachers to collaborate in new learning, things that perhaps even the teacher doesn't know of. And that's where this particular slide comes into play. It's about the teachers and students having a growth mindset. This is particularly about the modern teacher. We choose to be vulnerable, see themselves as co-learners, not teachers, allow themselves to fail often, don't wait until they're experts to introduce something, move into their students' world, even if it's foreign territory, run towards their area of weakness, not away from it, and much, much more. And now in the same way, think about your students. If they take on this growth mindset approach too, imagine the type of learning that can exist between students and between teachers and students. I briefly covered the areas in the business studies curriculum in which we were looking at particularly the finance side of things. As you can see, financial literacy is being taught throughout the curriculum. We're looking at financial decision making, the analysis of financial documents, investment taxation, students being able to manage their money, fundamentals of economics, numeracy skills, and credit. All of this is really important, like I said before, for other areas of the course, such as marketing, HR, and business planning. If I look at specifically the finance strand, which is at the bottom here, you'll see these particular areas that cover personal finance and business incomes, and identifying the facts that need to be assessed in order to make effective purchasing decisions, essentially financial planning skills. And we will also be touching a little bit on banking, because quite a bit of software tools online allow you to access your banking information, and it automatically places it into your accounting software or the financial management software. So this shows that we are going to be covering the curriculum. My specific objective today is to cover how Excel can help us in developing a budget, whether it's for personal finances or business finances, as you can see over here. Before I start this kind of application, I would have brainstormed with the students about their understanding of personal finances, what kind of expenses does that involve, and how families decide on a particular budget, things like that. Ideally, I would like them also, while we're doing this project or task, is to ask families about personal incomes and how we manage our finance expenses and financial situations at home. However, that's not as easy as I'd like it to be. So I would also suggest creating scenarios with the students and coming up with at least 6 to 10 scenarios that they can apply the household budgeting to. So beyond that, once you've done the brainstorming session with them, you can move on to one of these kind of templates that are already done. This really helps students try to get a good visual of how to do it. I would put them into groups and let them self-learn through these kind of applications. I chose workbook Excel spreadsheets because they are accessible by all, although there are different versions, but everyone has access to it on their laptops or computers at school or at home. I assume that part. What I like about the template is that, one, it's already set up in a certain way. I can add new columns by highlighting the column and inserting. It'll always appear to the left of it. Or I can change certain categories. I can change the description. I can change the amounts in here. And it will change for me, and it'll change everything in here. As you can see at the bottom, there are different tabs. There's the budget details, which I just went through, and that all gets put together so you can have a visual of how the money has been spent within the household. And it compares it to 2 incomes in the family and any other extra income. We have our total income, we have the actual monthly income, and the balance that is left over after taking out the expenses. So the difference is in red, meaning that we've spent more than we have earned. That's that. It also has a breakdown here of all the categories and the total values in each of those categories and the percentage of the expenditures. As you can see along here, there are yellow boxes that tell you how you can add to this, how you can edit the spreadsheet like you want it to look like. And the same principle applies to the budget details. So I would like the students to play around with this a little bit before we get to adding stuff and deleting stuff, and then using our scenarios to insert new data in here, just for them to get familiarized with it. The Excel spreadsheet is a great tool. It's great for students who are not strong in numeracy because it allows them to quickly calculate things automatically. It is a great visual for differentiated learners. When set up correctly, it allows students to have instant information and data that they need to make decisions. The main flaw I see with this software is the fact that it can't be integrated with financial institutions. It's pretty stalemate in that way. And therefore, I would also request my students to go on a search for financial management software tools that are for free online, and then use those tools to see the pros and cons of those tools compared to the Excel spreadsheet. By typing on Google the best free individual financial management solutions or software, I came across these here. For businesses, it's QuickBooks and Wave. So I could use, the students could go into these and see how they are user-friendly and what the pros and cons of each one of those are. There are others that they can search for, and then they could go to the videos to see how to use those financial tools. Once they've grabbed that information, within groups they can decide which software they would like to use and then implement that with their figmentational family scenarios or real life family scenarios from their own families. At the end of the day, what do I really want the students to walk out with? 1, confidence to use this type of software. 2, an understanding of how personal finances occur. 3, collaboration with their groups and being able to problem solve in any given situation. And number 4, understanding the value of the importance of finance management. Once students are comfortable with using these tools, we would then brainstorm the perspective of a business financial management situation, how to budget for businesses and what kind of costs businesses incur, and doing a similar exercise with either fictitious businesses or real ones. While also the students are collaborating in their groups, I would actually go around their groups and listen into the discussions. If they've created forums for their online discussions, I would be privy to that too, just to guide them, show them different things that I might know of, and basically support them in any way I can. In terms of assessments, I would have requested the students to create their own as groups of how they would like to be assessed, and empowering them with the assessment tools, they will give it a shot. Well, thank you for your time today. I hope this has been informative, and I'll see you on the next session. Take care and have a great day.